Beautiful, everybody. Just like that, we are live. Last 90 days changed everything for social media. If you are somebody that does marketing on social media, if you are somebody that you have companies that work with you on social media, I am telling you that this episode is going to be for you. The last 90 days have simply just changed everything. If you are a marketer working on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, you know that there has been a huge pivotal shift in the way that people find content and the way that people interact with businesses. And we're going to be discussing those top 5 trends right here that you need to know about if you are going to be marketing in the second quarter of 2026. So first of all, my name is Patrick Carr, Blue Collar Media Group. We work with contractors across the country, #1 media company for contractors. So we have access to thousands of ads that we're running every single week across social media. And I'm going to help you understand some of the trends that we are seeing. And really that way you can understand how you should be marketing your business regardless of the vertical. All right, #1, how people interact with your business, all right, has completely changed. I'm going to go into my top 5 list in a second, but we need to get some foundational things right that Q1 has changed completely. And that's this: how people interact with actual content online. The customer journey has changed, everyone. Not a little bit, not like whatever, it's changed. And if you don't adapt to how the customer journey has changed as a marketer, as a branding company, as an in-house videographer, whatever you do that is going to help a business grow and for people to find that business, you're going to fall behind. And so what I want to do is, first of all, before we jump into the list, understand the side-by-side difference. I have it written down here of the customer journey. Here's how it used to be. It used to be when we were working on social media, we would do what? You try to stop the scroll, right? We want to have the quote hook. You've got to have the problem. You've got to get people to stop. You've got to get their attention. Then what you've got to do is you've got to sell them. And you build in a lot of content about sales and bottom of the funnel, tell them what you do, hit them over and over again, and try to go ahead and capture that lead. You're going to get a mixed quality of people that go ahead and get with you. You filter through the crap and you find people that actually can use your product, and then you win. That's it. You're going to have a lower close rate because people really don't understand much about what you do. They just need a solution to their problem. That's what we're going for. That was 2025, everyone. 2026 is a much different animal. In 2026, I want to explain to you how this works. We're no longer simply trying to stop people, hook them, stop the scroll type of things, which I have said for a very long time. The fact is that we need valuable content that people are going to find engaging, and they're going to find informational. And here's the deal: valuable to them. Content that is valuable is what is right now going to be the most impactful for your business. Now, does that mean value can't be lead driven? Of course not. But what it does mean is not every piece of content you create is about give me, and give me some more. The content you create has to give value to your potential customers so that they begin to look at you as a teach first, educational first, a caring company that gives a crap about them, not just patting your own pocket with their business. And if you can do that, then you become authority driven. That is built into your content. You become some individual that is looked at as an authority at some kind of subject that people are interested in. Remember, we are gone of the days of social media. There is nothing social about the media that we use. I want you to think about the last time you went ahead onto YouTube and sent a message over to a friend on YouTube, or through a comment section communicated with somebody of substance. You're not sending a direct message through Facebook. You're not doing anything with DMs to communicate with anybody that's within your circle. There is nothing social about the media that we use. Everything that we do is interest-based media, meaning that we are following things that we've already shown interest in, and the algorithm is showing over to us. So if somebody is interested in something that you're an expert in, you need to produce content that puts in front of that person a valuable takeaway that they can look at and go, my life is better because I watched that content. If you can do that at scale, you are going to be a company that wins in the latter half of 2026. And then what you're going to find is that because of that, the customer journey, which was a lot of leads and then it was a lot of crap and you filter through, becomes less leads that come in, higher quality leads who understand your value proposition, and therefore your close rate goes up and your CAC goes down. But you must begin to understand that the difference in the customer journey is here now. It's not going to change. It's not going to change later half of the year. You must adapt now, which means you need to produce more content and content that is actually going to be talking about your business. What do you do? Not what you do, but not how you do it, why you do it that way. Bring value to my life in whatever it is that you do, even if you feel like it might be boring. Because I'm going to tell you, there's going to be people. I'll give you a great example. There are let's say 100% of people in the United States, right? At any given time, 6% of homeowners are doing something to improve their house. Maybe they're fixing their garage door. They're thinking about getting their roof done. And I want to make sure I get this right. It's not that they are doing it. They are in consideration of or currently involved in a project that is going to improve their home. This could be anything from landscaping as well. They're thinking about it. They're looking for it. They're in the process, right? So you have 94% of people up here and then a little 6% that's right down here. At any given time, though, that 94% can drop into that 6%. And so what we are saying here and what we are telling our clients is that at any time, although we're running ads, we need to understand that people can drop into that 6%. And when they do, they are all of a sudden interested in the thing that you're an expert in. Yes, maybe they did not give a crap about their HVAC unit, but now that it's having some problems and it doesn't exactly work right, all of a sudden they're real interested in who can bring value to them over their HVAC and their AC. Maybe they didn't care about, I don't know, their floor, but all of a sudden there's a crack now in the tile. And you know what? They've been thinking about getting that floor redone right now. Maybe they just got some news and they're going to be having a child. And you know what? Maybe it's time we start to look at some things around the house that can childproof some stuff. All of a sudden, I'm interested in cabinets again. You're going to have people that fall out of the 94 and into the 6. And what they don't want to see when they get down to the 6 is somebody that just wants to drill them with ads and you've brought no value into my life. People that are doing this right now are seeing their CPL skyrocket and they have no way to fix the problem because they don't understand why their ads are not working. It's because if you're over the age of 18, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're an adult, folks, you've grown up in a world where every time you go ahead and see something, somebody wants something from you. They're doing something to drive you down a funnel. They're trying to sell you something on a landing page. They're upselling you after you've already bought, and you're tired of it. And we are seeing the public sentiment not change, not shifting. It has shifted now. So if you are a marketer in your business, think about the content that you have out there. Look at the last 6 posts that you have. We felt guilty to this too. We went so much into the bottom of the funnel that we forgot that we have to add value to our customers. And that is what I'm attempting to do here for you today. I know from running thousands and thousands of ads currently right now, my company is in charge of, that this is what works. And if you're not willing to play the game where you are going to at least act like you want to add value to your customer's life and not just sell them, not just take their money, then you're going to lose, everyone. You're going to lose. And so that's the first thing that I want to get across to you is just the customer journey has changed. Next, I want to dive into these top 5 trends that are very much along the lines, okay, of what we just talked about. But there are top 5 very clear trends that we've seen in the last 3 months that are only going to continue the rest of the year. And if you haven't adapted, here's what you need to know. I just talked about number 1. It is a very important. It is value over direct selling. You have to bring value at the front end to your customer's life. I want you to really think about this. What does this look like? Because people ask me at a granular level, what do you mean, Patrick? And I hate this word, and Anthony over here knows it, organic. This organic content word. I want you to forget that, and I'm trying to find a better word right now for it. And I want you to think about what content are you putting out onto the internet that is going to make someone's life better, easier, more enjoyable, or in some cases, just going to make them a little bit smarter, feel a little bit better about themselves, that they understand something about whatever it is that you're an expert in. You know, if I feel like by watching your video, I might be able to, I don't know, clean a duct in my AC, then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to feel like I am more knowledgeable and have the ability to do something I didn't do before. You became valuable to me by bringing value into my life. Sometimes it can just be, you know what? I got a little fact from watching your video that now I'm going to be able to use in my life to make myself sound like I know a little bit more about what I'm talking about. The value you bring doesn't have to change someone's life. It doesn't have to save them, okay? But what it does have to do is make them walk away going, I want to interact with that person a little bit more. If it doesn't, then you're going to lose at the bottom of the funnel, because there are companies who are working with companies like ours who are going to bring value to your potential customers. And when you keep on hitting them with ad after ad without doing anything else on the front end, my customers that we work with here will be trusted. And that's going to be who they work with. That's going to be who they want to do business with. And while you sure might get some leads, you're going to continue to get low value leads who don't understand your value proposition and why they should work with you, while other companies who are investing in their brand, investing in people in their company so that people know, like, and trust them, are going to continue to win in 2026. The next thing is this. We need short form content is still going to be king. And I can tell you that I was curious about this at the end of 2025. I was seeing that a lot of your 15-minute and 20-minute clips out of large form or long form podcast were being very effective in growing brand. But I'm convinced right now that short form content, especially within YouTube Shorts, is the most undervalued asset that we have going into the middle of 2026. YouTube Shorts are undervalued at a scale that nobody even realizes. If you are not posting everything to YouTube Shorts, you are missing big. There needs to be an opportunity that you have here in a short window that you have in order to make something happen for yourself. You must produce the short form content with substance, with something, as we talked about, with and number one up there that brings value into an individual's life if you're going to be a winner in the rest of this year. Next thing I want to talk about is authenticity. It is a human content over AI world right now. Now, listen, I'm the first one to tell you that you do need professional content at the bottom of the funnel that you have. However, though, there is a larger and larger place for content that makes you feel connected to another person. I'm going to talk about just how much that is in number 4. But I want you to think about this. It used to be, especially when Alex Hormozi was just starting and everyone wanted those jumping captions that we had right there, that in doing so, what happened is people started to get only that professional content. But now what is working is the content that looks like it was something that was filmed on your phone that I should pay attention to, something that looks like it was from a friend of mine. That type of content right there is what is going to win because people are willing to pay attention to it. It doesn't look polished. It doesn't look scripted. Sure, there's a place for that, but only after you have brought value into my life. Number 4 out of 5, as we're talking about it right here. I see a big trend right now in creators being the person that a company pays to being a person that they employ to be the individual that represents their brand. For instance, you may have somebody within your city that you want to pay money to go ahead and talk about your business, right? Because maybe they have a big influence within the Huntsville market. I believe you have to take that a step further now. That person, if they are know, liked, and trust within your market, you have to go ahead and bring them on as your brand voice. Don't be afraid to use content creators as the brand voice that you have so that you can go ahead and establish trust with an audience quicker. If all you do is just pay that person to be a talking head, but yet you don't give them a chance to talk about who they are, everything that made them popular in the first place, then you're going to lose to people who are willing to invest in content creators and build trust with their audience. And finally, I want to move to number 5. Reach is going to be down for your stuff, for your content. Reach is not the most important factor anymore. You have to optimize your reach to your audience. But what is important is that because the algorithm is getting smarter, the content you create is being shown to a smaller audience more interested in your topics. And thus, as we talked about, if they're interested, you better show them something that is going to go ahead and satisfy that thirst for whatever it is, for whatever content that they're interested in. If you don't, they'll move on to the next person who's willing to do that. And that leads me to the last point about this when it comes to more content. You have to be producing at scale. I know Anthony's working here behind the scenes as we move in YouTube. 8, 10, 20, 50, 100 pieces of content a day. That is not a week. It's not a year. We need to produce at scale right now. If you didn't know, social media is free. It doesn't cost you anything to post a video or 100 videos or 1,000 videos. So as a business right now, if your opportunity that you see is not wide open, it's a blue ocean for you that costs absolutely nothing. And so there's no excuse not to post, not to use it for what it's worth. Everybody understands the value of it at this point. Those are the trends, along with the customer journey that has changed in Q1, a radical shift from where we were in 2025. Our content here is adjusting to it So should yours in your business. If you do have any questions, of course, give us a ring over here. Get in touch with me. There's a form right there, bluecollarmediagroup.com. We'll bring you on here as a customer, show you what we do for our clients every single day. It is absolutely incredible we're able to do for your brand, and we're doing it for contractors and businesses across the country. Hope you got some value out of this. Make some changes in your business, in your content, and honestly, in your approach as you go into the weekend here. Have a great Good Friday here and a great Easter ahead with your family. Thanks so much, everybody.